The KVVDI 8 model set. What ships are these models based on? First up is the USS Vincennes CG49. She's about 6 inches long, and that's a scale of 1 to 1,152. The USS Vincennes was third ship in the Ticonderoga class and the first cruiser in that class equipped with the three-legged main mast. She was commissioned on July 6, 1985. She was built by Ingalls Shipbuilding, West Bank, Pascagoula, Mississippi. Her main propulsion was 4 General Electric LM 2500 gas turbine engines. She had 2 propellers, each with 5 blades. Her length was 567 feet, or 173 meters. Her beam was 55 feet, or 16.8 meters, and her draft was 34 feet, or 10.2 meters. Her displacement was approximately 9,600 tons with a full load. She could crank out a good speed at 30 plus knots. Overall cost was about $1 billion. She could handle 2 SH-60 Seahawk, or Lamps 3s. Her armament was 2 Mk-26 missile launchers for standard missiles and ASROCs, Mk-46 torpedoes, Harpoon missile launchers, 2 Mk-45 5-inch 54 caliber lightweight guns, and 2 Phalanx CIWS. She had a crew complement of 33 officers, 27 petty officers, and approximately 340 enlisted. She was stricken from the Navy list on June 29, 2005 and sold for scrapping to International Shipbreaking of Brownsville, Texas. In July of 2010, she arrived under tow at Brownsville, and on November 21, 2010, she had since been broken up. Number 2. The Type 054A frigate, scale 1 to 900, and again this model is about 6 inches long. The country of origin is China. It entered service in 2008, has a crew of about 165 men. Its length is 134 meters, its beam is 16 meters, its draft is about 6 meters, standard displacement is about 3,600 tons, and full displacement is 4,053 tons. The vessel can reach at least 28 knots, has a cruising range of 14,500 kilometers, and is powered by diesel engines. The Chinese Type 054A class frigate is an improvement on the existing Type 054 class. These Chinese frigates were built at a rapid pace, and until 2019, 30 of these modern vessels have been commissioned. Each vessel costs roughly $240 million. These vessels represent a significant improvement of the Type 054 for several reasons. The Type 054A has a stealthier, lighter machine gun, improved close-in weapon systems, better sensors, and more surface-to-air missiles. With survival in mind, the Type 054A is a somewhat stealthy design built of radar-absorbent material with clean lines free of clutter, resulting in the least possible radar return. Vessels of this class were built primarily for air defense, although they can perform anti-surface and anti-submarine warfare missions. Overall, the ship is a highly capable escort with advanced radar and processing electronics representing China's increased ability to project power in highly dangerous areas. The third ship in this series is the USS Sacramento, AOE-1. Again, the model is 6 inches long, and it's a scale of 1 to 1,615. The USS Sacramento was the lead ship of the Sacramento class and was the first ship in the Navy to combine the functions of 3 logistic support ships into one hull: the fleet oiler, AO, the ammunition ship, AE, and the refrigerated storage ship, AF. Her keel was laid on June 30th, 1961, and she was commissioned on March 14, 1964. She was built by the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard in Bremerton, Washington. She was powered by 4 V2M 600 psi propulsion boilers and had 2 propellers. She was 794 feet in length, or 242 meters. Her beam was 107 feet, or 32.6 meters, and her draft was 38 feet, or 11.6 meters. She could make 26 knots and had 2 CH-46 helicopters. For armament, she had 1 Sea Sparrow launcher and 2 Phalanx CIWS close-in weapon systems. Her crew consisted of 48 officers and 678 enlisted. She was decommissioned on October 1, 2004. This photo shows the Sacramento at ESCO Marine in Brownsville, Texas, waiting to be scrapped. The photo was taken on November 19, 2007. The fourth ship in our series is the Salva-Class Cruiser. Again, this model is 6 inches long and a scale of 1 to 1,242. The Salva-Class Cruiser is a type of large conventionally powered warship designed and constructed for the Soviet Navy, but currently operated by the Russian Navy. The design started in the late 1960s based around the use of the P-500 Basalt missile, and was intended as a less expensive conventionally powered alternative to the nuclear-powered Kirov-class battlecruiser. Her type and class is a guided missile cruiser. She has a length of 186.4 meters, a beam of 20.8 meters, and a draft of 8.4 meters. Her propulsion is provided by 2 M70 cruise gas turbines, 2 cruise steam turbines, 2 exhaust gas boilers, 4 M8KF gas turbine. She has 2 shafts and makes 130,000 ship horsepower. She can kick it up to 32 knots and has a range of 7,500 miles at 18 knots. Her normal crew complement is 66 officers, 419 warrant officers or enlisted. She has a full array of sensors and processing systems, electronic warfare and decoys, and her armament consists of 16 P-500 Basalt anti-ship missiles, 64 S-300 PMU long-range surface-to-air missiles, 2 OSAM SR SAMs, and her guns include 1 twin AK-130 130mm dual-purpose guns. Originally, 10 ships were planned, but with the collapse of the Soviet Union, only 3 were completed. One of those 3 ships was named the Moskva, which means Moscow. It's the ship that was sunk here recently in the Ukraine war. The 5th model in our series is the Aegis Destroyer. Again, it's 6 inches long and a scale of 1 to 1,025. The Arleigh Burke class of destroyers replaced the Charles F. Adams class. The Burke class was designed with an all-new hull form, incorporating much of the Spruance class destroyer propulsion and machinery plant, and the integrated Aegis weapon systems proven on the Kidd class destroyers and installed on the larger Ticonderoga class cruisers. AWS is composed of a multifunction phased array radar, advanced AAW and ASW systems, VLS, and a Tomahawk weapons system. The Burke class was built by Bath Iron Works, Huntington Ingalls Industry. Her length measures from 505 feet for earlier models to 509.5 feet for later models. Beam is 59 feet. Her displacement is 8,230 to 9,700 long tons. Her speed is in excess of 30 knots. She has a crew, 329 total, 32 officer, 27 CPO, and 270 enlisted. Her armament consists of Standard Missile SM-2MR, Vertical Launch ASROC missiles, Tomahawk, 6 Mk-46 torpedoes from 2 triple mount tubes. DDG-51 was commissioned on July 4, 1991, and the class is still in production. The class has been continuously upgraded with advanced sensors and weapons and improved support systems. 69 DDG-51 class ships have been delivered to the fleet, with 20 more on contract and 11 ships in various stages of construction. The sixth boat in our series is the HMS Hood at a scale of 1 to 1,748. The HMS Hood stood as the pride and joy of the British Royal Navy for over 2 decades. She was constructed towards the end of World War I and at the height of the global arms race on the world waters. The Hood's length was 860.6 feet or 262.31 meters. Her beam was 104.1 feet or 31.73 meters. Her draft was 33 feet or 10.6 meters. Her displacement was 49,140 tons. The installed power is 24 Yarrow small tube oil-fired boiling units feeding 4 Brown Curtis single reduction geared quadruple screw steam turbines developing 144,000 horsepower. Her top speed was 29 knots and she had a range of 5,399 nautical miles. The HMS Hood was lost in action to the Bismarck battleship on May 24, 1941 in the Battle of Denmark Strait. Of the 1,418 Royal Navy sailors aboard the Hood that morning, only 3 survived to tell the tale. The 3 surviving sailors were William John Dundas, Robert Ernest Tilburn, and Ted Briggs. Briggs survived them all, living up until 2008. Number 7 in the series is the Virginia-class submarine. Again, this model is 6 inches long and a scale of 1 to 766. The Virginia-class attack submarines are designed to seek and destroy enemy submarines and surface ships, project power ashore with Tomahawk cruise missiles and Special Operations Forces, carry out intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions, support battle group operations, and engage in mine warfare. The USS Virginia was commissioned on October 3, 2004. She was built by General Dynamics Electric Boat Division and Huntington Ingalls Industries, Inc., Newport News Shipbuilding. Her propulsion is 1 nuclear reactor and 1 shaft. Her length is 377 feet or 114.8 meters. Her beam is 34 feet or 10.36 meters. Her displacement is approximately 7,800 tons or 7,925 metric tons submerged. Her max speed is 25 plus knots. Her crew consists of 132, 15 officers, and 117 enlisted. Her armament consists of Tomahawk missiles, 12 VLS tubes or 2 VPTs, Mk-48 ADCAP torpedoes, and 4 torpedo tubes. The U.S. Navy continues to build the next generation attack submarine, the Virginia class. 19 Virginias have been commissioned to date, and they will replace the Los Angeles class submarines as they retire. Our 8th and final model is the Chinese aircraft carrier Liaoning. Hope I'm saying that right. But it's a 6-inch model again and a scale of 1 to 2030. The Liaoning was originally named the Varag, which in Russian is Viking. The aircraft carrier was launched in 1988, but after the collapse of the Soviet Union, construction ceased. In 1998, the Varag was sold to a Machu-based entertainment company for $20 million. The unfinished hull was towed to the Far East, where it would be converted into an entertainment complex and casino. The contract prohibited the buyer from using the Varag for military purposes, though this company appeared to be a front for the Chinese Navy. Well, China being China, eventually the ship was commissioned with the Chinese Navy in 2012 as the Liaoning. Currently, this aircraft carrier is in active service. Her length is 305 meters, her beam is 67 meters, and her draft is 11 meters. Her standard displacement is 46,600 tons, and her full load displacement is 59,400 tons. Her top speed is 29 knots. She has 8 boilers that powers 4 steam turbines. She is capable of operating a mixed wing of up to 50 fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters. The lack of catapults precludes launching aircraft with heavy strike loads. Takeoff is assisted by a bow ski jump angled at 12 degrees in lieu of steam catapults. The flight deck is equipped with arrestor wires. 2 starboard lifts carry the aircraft from the hangar to the flight deck. After the refit, the Liaoning lost all of its offensive weapons. Now it carries only short-range defensive weapons. This aircraft carrier represents a significant shift in the balance of naval power in the area. However, the poor condition of the Liaoning has regulated her to serving primarily as a training ship. Well, that completes our look at the KVVDI 8-set battleship models and the real ships behind them. Hey, if you made it this far, I really thank you, and we'll catch you on the next video.